current electricity is the chapter which is very important examination point of view, and hence we'll call it as a master chapter. You will be having 4 numericals, out of which you need to answer only 2. So 5 marks for each question, 2 numericals you need to attend, so that is for 10 marks. Third main, that's part C, you have answer any 5 questions out of the following question. So 5 questions each carries 2 marks, so total mark allotted for this part is 10. Hello everyone, this is Swati welcoming you all to the introductory class of 2nd PUC Physics subject. Dear children, Physics in 2nd PUC is very easy to score and very interesting as well. So in this session, let us understand the subject, the weightage of the mark and the blueprint to get a very good marks in this year. So let's begin with the weightage objectives. So in this question paper, in the question paper of your board examination, the objectives weightage are like this. So you will be having the knowledge based questions, and the weightage for these questions is 40%, which means you will be having 46 marks out of 115 in your question paper, and that is based on the knowledge. And based on the understanding, you will be having 30% of questions. That means out of 115, you will be having 34 questions in your question paper. That's based on your understanding. An application based question also you will be having, and that is about 20%, which means out of 115 marks, 23 mark is about applications. And skill based questions also you will be having, that's about 10%, which means almost 12 questions out of 115. So these are the objectives weightage about your question paper. So going forward, let us discuss what are the chapter names, what is the weightage, how to make the strategy to get good marks, and so on. So next we have weightage or content. So let us understand what are the chapters that you have, how many chapters that you have in your subject called physics for your 2nd PUC. So first one is electric charges and fields. So in this chapter, we are going to understand fundamentals of charges, what is electricity, what is electric field, and many more. And the second chapter is electrostatic potential and capacitance, and these 2 chapters will come under the branch of physics called electrostatics. Let us know what is the numbers or the marks allotted to these 2 chapters. Electric charges and fields, the number of teaching hours we require is 10 hours, and the mark allotted for this chapter is 10 marks. So later I will tell you what are the subdivisions where you have to concentrate to get 10 mark from this chapter. The second chapter is electrostatic potential and capacitance, and the number of teaching hours allotted for this is 9 hours, and you are going to get 9 marks questions about electrostatic potential and capacitance. So next we have current electricity. So current electricity is the chapter which is very important examination point of view, and hence we'll call it as a master chapter. The number of hours allotted for this to teach is 15, and the number of marks you can expect from this chapter is about 14 marks. It's a master chapter. You will be having high weightage for this chapter, so you need to concentrate more on current electricity. It is important as well as very much easy to score and to understand. So next you have moving charges and magnetism. So another chapter called moving charges and magnetism. So teaching hour allotted for this is 12 hours. You can expect about 11 mark from this chapter. So marks allotted to moving charges and magnetism is 11 mark. So after this, the continuation of this or the connection to this chapter is magnetism and matter. So magnetism and matter, number of teaching hours is 8 hours, and the maximum marks that we can expect from this chapter is 7 mark. So you can now plan for which chapter you can prepare, which chapter you have to concentrate more, not to miss a single mark in your examination. So based on the strategies if we study, it is very easy to score well. So next chapter we have electromagnetic induction, one of the important chapters of your 2nd PUC again. So that is 7 teaching hours and 7 mark is allotted for electromagnetic induction. So next we have alternating current. In short, we'll call it as AC, alternating current, and it is a key to centum, which means you can number of teaching hour for AC is 8 and the marks allotted to this chapter is 8 mark. So next chapter we have is electromagnetic waves. This is the shortest chapter of your syllabus, electromagnetic waves. The teaching hour required for this chapter is 3 hours and you can expect 3 mark question, or totally the total marks allotted to electromagnetic waves chapter is 3. So this is about your first part of physics. As you all know, you have 2 parts or 2 textbooks in your second PUC physics. First part contains these many chapters. 8 chapters are from the first part of the physics textbook. And now we are moving on to second part. Its second part is also very easy. Basically deals with the optics and the theory based chapters. And the first chapter under your second part of physics is ray optics and optical instruments. So optics is a branch of physics that deals with the study of light. So ray optics and optical instruments give us many important phenomena, and we can understand so many natural phenomena with what we are going to observe in our daily life. And we are going to study about the optical instruments in this chapter, which is really very interesting and easy to score. The number of teaching hours allotted to ray optics and optical instrument is 10 and total marks allotted to this chapter is 9 marks. So you can plan accordingly which chapter you can study well, which chapter you can prepare more for, which chapter you can give more time to get good marks with the help of this content idea. So next we have wave optics. That is the second chapter under your second part of physics, wave optics. Teaching hour allotted for this is 10 hours and the marks allotment for wave optics is about 9 marks. So next we have dual nature of radiation and matter. We all know that light possesses 2 nature. One is a particle nature and the other one is the wave nature. So in this chapter we are going to understand from the scratch what is the meaning of dual nature of radiation and matter and what are the different phenomena under this concept. So the teaching hour allotted for this is 6 hours and we can expect 6 mark, and the total mark allotted to this chapter dual nature of radiation and matter is 6 mark. So next we have atoms and nuclei. So these 2 words or these 2 names are very much familiar to all of us. So atoms is a very easiest chapter. 5 hours is allotted for this and we can expect 5 mark question from the chapter atoms. Nuclei is not a new or the strange word to all of us. So these 2 chapters you can concentrate more because these 2 are the easiest chapters for you all, because as you have already studied about atoms and nuclei, you can concentrate and you can find the things easier in these 2 chapters. So the nuclei chapter we have 7 hours to teach and 7 mark is allotted to nuclei. So next comes another master chapter called semiconductor electronics, which is the last chapter of your second part of physics, that is semiconductors. 10 hours required to teach this chapter and the marks allotted to this chapter is 10 again. So total number of chapters you have in your physics second PUC, that is 14 chapters, among which current electricity is the master chapter, semiconductor electronics is the another master chapters. So if you concentrate on these 2, you can get maximum mark and you can find which are the topics or which are the chapters you have to concentrate more to get a good mark or centum. This is about the content of your textbook. Now let us move on to the weightage to form the question. How the question paper will be formed. What is the weightage? So let us understand. In your question paper, the first part or the first main is about multiple choice questions. So each question carry 1 mark. Then how many questions you will be having? You will be having 15 questions. You need to answer all the questions. So number of questions to be answered is 15. So 15 mark is for multiple choice question. Each question carries 1 mark. So it is 15 mark, that's from your first main. So next main you have fill in the blanks. So fill in the blanks, again each question carries 1 mark. So number of questions you will be having is 5. So out of 5 you need to answer all 5. So 15 from MCQ, 5 from fill in the blanks, total 20 marks you will get in first 2 mains only. So next you have short answers. So that is the third main, and short answer is for 2 marks. Each question carries 2 marks. Number of questions in the question paper will be 9, out of which you need to answer only 5. So 5 into 2 gives you 10. So third main is for 10 marks. So next you have SCA2, that is short answer. So each question carries 3 marks. 3 mark questions. Question paper will contain 9 3-mark questions, out of which you need to answer only 5 questions. So 5 3 is 15. That is 3-mark question. So next long answers, that is 5-mark question. So how many questions you will be having in a question paper? 6 questions you will be having in your question paper for 5 marks. Out of 6, you need to answer only 3. Another 3 you can take it as an option. So whatever the chapters you are thorough with, whatever the question you know properly, you can attend those 3, and another 3 you can take it as an option. You need not to attend all 6. So next we have numerical problems. That's the last part of your question paper. Each question carries 5 marks. You will be having 4 numericals, out of which you need to answer only 2. So 5 marks for each question, 2 numericals you need to attend. So that is for 10 marks. That is again so simple to prepare, because we have a blueprint from which chapter you will get the numericals. You will come to know after seeing the blueprint. So this is about weightage to form a question paper. There are certain conditions to form a question in question paper. So what are those? In first main or MCQ questions, it should be only knowledge-based question, and there should not be any numerical type. There won't be any calculations. It should be only knowledge type question. So even in the second main, that is your fill in the blanks, there will be no numerical type of questions. It is again picking the answer which is given in the bracket, which is very, very easy. So in first 2 mains, there will be no numerical problems is the rule. Now, what is the level of difficulty? What is the weightage to level of difficulty? Let us understand. So easy level, you will be having 40% of weightage, that is out of 115 marks, 46 mark is allotted for easy level of questions, and average level of question again 40%, that is 46 marks out of 115, that is for average level, and difficulty level it is 20%, which means half of these two. Just understand, difficulty level is less, which means only 23 mark is allotted out of 115 marks. This is the weightage to level of difficulty of your question paper. Hope now you will get a clear picture about the preparation of your examination. So let's now move on to the blueprint for physics question paper, and the subject code for physics is 33. So let's go through blueprint carefully. So as I explained, first chapter is electric charges and fields, and the teaching hours required for this is 10 hours. Marks allotted is 10, which means from 1 mark question you can expect 1 question. From the second main, that is fill in the blanks, you can expect 1 question, and you can expect 3 mark question and 5 mark question from this chapter. So 5 plus 3, 8, 9 and 10. So this is how you can prepare for your chapters, each and every single chapter. So next we have electric potential and capacitance. Total mark allotted for this chapter is 9 mark. So we can expect in 1 mark question, 2 questions, or 1 from fill in the blanks, 1 from multiple choice, and 2 mark question, 100% you will be having a numerical problem from this chapter called electrostatic potential and capacitance. So next we have current electricity, master chapter as I told. So it's for 14 mark. So you can expect questions from numericals, from 5 mark question, from 3 mark question. So here only you will be having 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, and 1 more mark from multiple choice question. So next we have moving charges and magnetism. Total marks allotted for this chapter is 11. So you can observe, first main multiple choice question will come from each and every chapter. So that's mandatory. So 1 question is in multiple choice, and 2 mark question, 3 mark question, 5 mark question, but there is no numerical from this chapter, moving charges and magnetism. So magnetism and matter is our next chapter. The weightage is 7 mark, where you will get 1 mark question, that is MCQ plus fill in the blanks, 2 mark and 3 mark. So 2 plus 3, 5, 6 and 7. That is for magnetism and matter. You can observe there is no 5 mark question in this chapter. no numerical problem. So now it is again easy to prepare. So next, electromagnetic induction. In short, we'll call it as EMI. So it is for 7 mark again. So 7 mark, you won't be having any fill in the blanks from this chapter, no 5 mark question, no numerical. So you need to prepare for 2 mark, 3 mark, and you need to understand the chapter very much clearly so that you cannot miss answering 1 mark MCQ. So next we have alternating current. In short, we'll call it as AC. So the chapters is allotted for 8 mark, where you can get 1 numerical from this chapter, 1 2 mark question. So that is 5 plus 2, 7, and 1 from MCQ, that is 8 mark. So next we have electromagnetic waves. So it is a shortest chapter, as I already told you, that's for 3 mark. So you can expect 1 2 mark question, 1 from MCQ. Next we have ray optics and optical instruments. So ray optics and optical instrument is for 9 mark, which means you will be having 5 mark question, no numerical here, you can plan accordingly, and 1 3 mark question, 1 MCQ. So here 5 plus 3, 8 plus 1, 9. So next we have wave optics, another important chapter. So that's for 9 mark again, and here you can plan for numerical problem. So out of 4 numerical, here you can observe, you will get from alternating current, and you will get from wave optics, you will also get from electrostatic, potential and capacitance, and current electricity. Here only you have 4 problems, and out of which you need to answer only 2. So you can plan which is the easiest chapter for you, and you can plan for that chapter to not to miss scoring in numerical problem. So here wave optics, it is divided into multiple choice question 1, fill in the blanks, and again 2 mark question along with a numerical problem. So the rest of the chapters you can observe here, there is no numerical problem in these chapters. As I explained in the previous slide, you have 4 problems here only, out of which you have to answer only 2. So concentrate more on this. So next, dual nature of radiation and matter, that is for 6 mark, where you will be getting 1 MCQ question, 1 5 mark question. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So next chapter is atoms. Again, there is no numerical problem in this chapter, atoms. It's only a theory question, so you can prepare and score well. Next we have nuclei, and total mark for nuclei is 7, where you can observe you have almost all questions in all the parts, and there is no 5 mark question here, no numerical here. So again, it is easy to prepare. Semiconductor electronics and devices, that's an important chapter again. So total 10 mark questions we can expect. So you need to get good marks, or you have to prepare well to get 10 marks. It's again important. No numerical from this chapter, semiconductor devices and electronics again. So current electricity, semiconductors, these are the master chapters where you have to concentrate more to get a highest marks in subject called physics. So this is the blueprint of your question paper or about your subject, from which you can make your strategies, you can prepare well for your examination. Let's quickly go through the mains of your question paper or the components of your question paper. As I explained, first part, that is part A, where you will be having multiple choice question. This is how your components of the question papers will be. Choose the correct option and answer the questions. So you'll be having total 15 multiple choice question, each carries 1 mark. So 15 mark from part A multiple choice question. So next one is the fill in the blanks, part B. Again 5 questions, each carries 1 mark. So total 5 mark. So those who are looking just to get past 21 is the minimum marks to get through the subject. Because it is a practical subject, you will be having a question paper for 70 marks. So out of 70, 21 is the passing marks. So from these 2 mains only, you will be getting 20 marks if everything is proper. So very important to prepare well. And third main, that's part C, you have answer any 5 questions out of the following question. So 5 questions, each carries 2 marks. So total mark allotted for this part is 10. Next we have part D, that is will be having 3 mark question, 5 mark question and numerical. So you have to answer 5 3 mark question. Each carries 3 marks, 5 questions to be answered, and that's for 15 mark. And next main comes to 5 mark question. So 5 mark questions, you need to answer 3. So 3 5 mark questions. So 3 questions to be answered, each carries 5 marks, so total is 15, and the last part of your question paper will always be numerical based questions. Out of 4 numerical, you need to answer only 2, each carries 5 marks, so that 10 marks is allotted for problems. I have already told you what are the chapters from which you will get the numerical problems and how to prepare for exam, and if the preparation is proper, if the preparation is according to the blueprint, you will not miss a single mark, and it is very easy to score centum in physics. So this is about your subject of your second PUC, your components, content of textbook and the question paper, blueprint, and I hope this helps you a lot in your preparations, and please prepare well, make your strategies and score well. See you all in the next session. Thank you.